Welcome back, everybody. This is the Is It Isekai anime review. Is It Isekai podcast. This is Jim Jam here today to talk about another old man show. This is an old man review, old man anime review mini-series, what we're calling it so far. Sure, just made it up on the spot. But today, as I mentioned before, that I would do a couple, but I only did one, so I'll do the other one now. I'm reviewing the Ossan adventurer, almost died multiple times to accomplish his dream. Sure, that's kind of what it's called. You'll learn soon that Jim Jam does not remember names, but Ossan Adventurer is in the title. This one is on Crunchyroll. Yes, this one is on Crunchyroll. So if you want to look it up, you check it out. So you see behind me in the trailer. So it's pretty good, amazing. Really wanted to talk about this show. I figured I could kind of... Okay, so there's about a 5-year difference between the two characters, but there's not a lot of shows where people are over the age of 20. If you know anything about anime, most of the time it's people in high school, maybe in middle school. So the fact we got a couple old guys, MCs in the animes, especially in the same season, is pretty incredible. So I'm going to talk about this one here specifically because this guy's really old. He's in his 30s, man. He might as well be in the retirement home or something. This is incredible that they have an anime, and he literally put Ossan Adventure in there. Well, Ossan means old man in Japanese, so they put it right in the title. So as soon as I saw that, I knew what Ossan meant, and they put it in there. I was like, oh, old man doing adventuring things? That's hilarious. They actually made it a thing, a trope, character, trait. Made this a trait of the main character in this show. And the way that he's drawn, I guess the bags under his eyes just are supposed to be another characteristic of an old man. Crazy. But once again, I'll give my spoiler warning. So if you don't want to get spoiled for the first season of Ossan Adventure, better click off this video. Once again, don't really read mangas, so I watch the animes, and I'm going to speak about the first season here. Plenty of spoilers ahead. So if you don't want to watch, don't keep watching this video. That's your warning right now. Alright, so if you're still here, I'm going to review the first season of Ossan Adventure. Died multiple times, and that is very literal. He's an old man, and he literally died in the midst of his training multiple times. You come to find out. So that's the biggest spoiler right there. He dies multiple times. Luckily, his head trainer, sensei, can bring people back to life with his magic. So if it's within a few minutes, you get brought back to life. A little known to the main character, he dies multiple times. Well, he doesn't know at the beginning, but towards the end, he knows that he dies. Yeah, it's pretty funny. He dies multiple times in the anime, so it's pretty hilarious. Poor Rick. It's just funny because how often do we see in an anime where the main character dies multiple times and then it's just all matter of fact, oh yeah, we brought him back to life. So that's one of the main things. Number two is the fact that the Orichalcum Fist people, all of them are crazy strong, and they just all create like all these OP stuff, which you see some of the background characters making a note of in the anime, kind of breaking the fourth wall. It's like they say matter of fact stuff, and it's like, oh yeah, he died, and it's like, oh, okay, we're just killing people now? Like what? But that did help Rick to be OP at a later age. We come to find out that you have to train in this anime. You have to train your magic batteries at an early age, otherwise they don't get any bigger over time. But the fact that he has such good magic control and OP physical strength, he can survive as an S. I don't know what the max is, but at least S. They say SS plus at some point in this anime, but S class adventurer just purely on his strength, thanks to Broston. I want to say that's how they're saying it. Broston Summer. Broston is the orc that trained him up from the S-class adventures. Like OP strength is kind of the thing. Come to find out towards the end of the season, Broston came up with the training regimen for anybody that he thought could try to be strong with him and keep up with him. And lo and behold, Rick comes along and fulfills that whole thing. That's the overall emotional bit for the whole first season. It's like, oh, he didn't have anybody. And they kind of touch on this at the last episode of the season, that he's been pretty much alone because he's so unique in all of orcs, and then come to find out unique with all the humans. So he came under a trading regimen, and Rick was just happened to be there, kind of, sort of, yeah. Rick is there to take the training, and he's the closest to being the strongest, especially with his warrior skill, hidden skill, however you want to put it. Makes him pretty strong, and they, duke it out at the end. So I'm just kind of downplaying that because that's like a big thing for the anime. Super spoiler warning, but it's just one of those things. It's like, chef's kiss, how they tied that story and over the whole course of the thing. There's an overlying story. I'm not going to really go into details about that. Just watch the anime. There's an overlying story, but the underneath story is this relationship that Ossan kind of put on Rick. I don't know how to say that exactly. It's just kind of this relationship that developed through the training of Rick that Rick didn't know about until the end of the season tournament. You'll know about the tournament there if you watch the anime. So what's great about Rick, what really got me, was the fact that he wanted to be an adventurer, waited around for this skill. He's very patient, just waiting around for this skill to develop. That apparently in this world, you need a skill to become an adventurer, or at least a good one. So people are just kind of waiting around for this. I don't know why he didn't really train during this time, but for a decade, and we have another decade again, here we go, he went and worked at the Adventurers Guild as a staff member. Didn't train at all to be an adventurer, but he helped adventurers because he wanted to be one. It's very much dedication, similarly to what we saw with Noir, but it's just dedication to his job. I don't understand why he didn't train, so I'm being very judgy with that. You could at least train during that time while you were working, but he didn't. And he has an event, which they do talk about in there, where he gets brought into the Orichalcum Fist and becomes trained with them. And then thus, as I said earlier, dies multiple times, get really strong. But I like his dedication to his job, because even though he wanted to be something else, he still was dedicated. Should have quit earlier, in my opinion. Should have been training that whole time if he wanted to be an adventurer. But he needed that skill. There was an event that happened that caused that skill to manifest itself, and then at that point it was like, oh, you can be an adventurer now. It's like, why didn't you train beforehand? But I like his dedication. Apparently he was liked by all his co-workers, so that's pretty good, because one of his old co-workers comes back and sees that he's a trainer after a couple of years. Took 2 years for him to be OP, apparently. He goes from 0 to OP in 2 years. I would love to have a training regimen like that. That would be amazing. Don't know if I'd be willing to die. Rick makes a point that it's very scary to die throughout the anime when the death part is brought up, but I don't know. OP, die 100 times. I don't know. I can't think of. I know it would suck, but I would still do it. I think. I don't know. I don't have a skill, or latent skill, whatever you want to call it. But we find out too that Rick is very helpful. He kind of sacrificed himself for people, and that's how his skill came about during this event. So we see that he's very helpful and very caring, and then he also sees another old person, Ossan, in the midst of the season that is trying to do the adventuring thing too. So he's like, here, go ahead and try this. I got your back. We are amigos in this. We're old people trying to be adventurers, so you can do it too. Don't really know what happened to that guy after that episode. It was midway through the season. We see that he gets a taste of the training that Rick did. Then he kind of runs away. I don't know why he didn't stay. It's like, if you could do this, why? I don't know why he wouldn't stay. I understand you facing death literally multiple times, but I would have stayed. I think at that point, you want to be an adventurer. You see what happens to him. Go be an adventurer. That's. I don't get it. Yeah, the training was really crazy, and Ossan's training was pretty nuts. And then we see a princess come in and get a taste of the training, and she actually commits to it, which is pretty funny that the old guy didn't, but the princess did. But she's of royalty, nobility, so she has innate magic affinity. So she's actually a little bit ahead of Rick. And then she gets a little taste, thanks to Rick, of what it would look like if she went through the training after a year. She'd be OP as well. Probably even a little bit faster because she's younger has more magic in the rank, and then also has the nobility thing on there. So once again, as typical in most anime, the nobility have a heads up on the commoners, which is fine, whatever. But I really liked it. The end tournament that I talked about a little bit earlier was amazing. Even the side characters, the ex-champ now, he's pretty cool. I couldn't imagine why he wouldn't want to do the training. I don't understand why they don't have a whole school now of people that they're training going through this just from coming in contact with Rick. And hopefully the princess's brother, the snob prince, whatever, hopefully he gets his ass kicked again at some point. Would be great. Amazing. Let's have that happen once again for the second season. So along with I Parry Everything, Ossan Adventure, I hope that they do get a second season. These shows are amazing. You know, not many times we have older MCs in an anime. We really like to get a diverse main character, so old women next time would be great. Just saying, anime people would be amazing. So yeah, and then they don't really need to expand the Orichalcum Fist. Not really, but it'd be great to go more flashbacks on the other characters, see how they ended up together. I like that Broston was flashback to his origin story. We got a little bit of that before the season was over. So yeah, we need more seasons. I want to know more backstory of these characters. Also, Rick doesn't need to really be more OP. I mean, he can be, but the princess, I hope she ends up doing some training. Like to see how she progresses. It'd be amazing. And then there's a vampire girl, you know, Orichalcum Fist, and she's just there during the day. So I'm confused how that works out. Sure. All right. Anyways, this is Jim Jam with another anime review for the Is It Isekai podcast. These YouTube reviews will go out sporadically. I don't know. We're figuring that out, but we like to celebrate that we are at our first month of putting out episodes every Tuesday of the podcast. So hopefully you enjoy that. Anywhere where most podcasts you can be gotten, you can watch it there. But for now, this is all. I guess I'm going to call this like the spoiler warning series or something like that. So catch me next time. Bye.